Hi everyone, welcome to Thirsty Thursdays. I'm gonna wait for a few people to hop on. As you know, we are starting this new series where we do interviews with women all across the country, learning about different fish and everything. So this week we are going to have Molly Pritchard on, and she's going to talk to us about paddle fishing. That's new to me. I've never experienced it, haven't heard much about it, so it should be a pretty fun interview. I'm just gonna wait again for a few people to hop on. Let us know when you are here, and I'm going to see if we can get Molly on here. We'll wait till she hops on here. So it'll just be a little bit yet. Okay. Thank you for bearing with us while we get everyone on. So let's see here. Just have to get a few more things set up while we wait for some people. Happy Thirsty Thursday to everyone. Let us know what you're drinking. I'm drinking this Barefoot Spritzer tonight, so pretty great. So let's see, I just have to get our comment thing up so I can see when you guys are commenting. So 1 second, looks like here we go. All right, Molly should be joining us in just a second, so thanks for bearing with us, everyone. All right, Molly. Hi.
Hello.
All right, perfect. That worked great.
I'm like, this is my first time doing this, so.
I know. Well, seriously, last week, if anyone watched last week, it was a cluster for the first 4 minutes. So we definitely got it bared down a little bit.
I have we do live a lot, but I've never done the whole joint thing, so.
Yeah, it was crazy. So welcome everyone. You're joining us for Thirsty Thursdays with Casting Queens and Molly Pritchard. And I just told them I have Barefoot. What are you drinking? Ooh, I like that.
I'm a Jack Daniels, the Down Home Punch. This one's cherry limeade, and it's pretty tasty.
Yes, I am a Jack girl all the way. I love Jack and root beer, and I've tried those before. It's super good.
Yeah. The cherry limeade one's okay, but I think the Down Home Punch one's still my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have our faves for sure. I'm just gonna say hi to everyone. Looks like we got a lot of people joining us tonight, so that's awesome. If you are watching the replay, because we know a lot of people are busy out probably fishing and doing stuff, just go ahead and comment replay. We just like to see where you're tuning in from, so let us know when you do watch the video where you're tuning in. So again, we have Molly Pritchard tonight. So Molly, say hi to everyone.
Hi guys. Hi ladies.
We got Liz, Nikki, Rochelle, Elaine, and who else? We got Michelle and more people. Maine. We got another person from Maine. So we got a lot of people tuning in. So that's awesome. So if you want to just kind of let us know a little bit about you. Where are you from?
Yeah, so I live in Grove, Oklahoma now, which is in kind of the northeast corner. Not originally from here. I'm from northwestern Missouri, grew up in Kearney, Missouri, booked a paddlefish trip with a fishing guide down here and hooked more than a paddlefish that day. So ended up moving down to Grove, live here now. We have a huge blended family. We have 5 kids between the two of us. They're 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15.
Oh, so you got a crazy household.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everybody likes to fish. I actually just came in from taking 2 of them out fishing. Caught a couple catfish, some crappie, some bass, a little bit of everything tonight.
Yeah,
so
that's why you're in the boat, staying away from the kids for a bit.
Yeah, I am. I'm literally sitting in our boat right now. The kids are out there playing basketball, but I'm like, I don't feel like the house is safe enough without somebody just running in. Mom, yeah, so this is my safe haven.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, last week too, my husband walked in, and so I definitely barricaded the door this time so no one can interrupt our interview or our time.
Mine's walking around the boat as we speak. We have this, I'll give a quick little view.
Yeah,
we have
us a tour
on the boat because we fish, year round. So this is, top to bottom, the back's all open so we can fish off the back. This is where most action takes place. So he's out here doing some maintenance on the boat since he got in a little early today. So yeah. I'm like, Don't look at me. Don't talk to me while I'm doing this. Just
Like, don't make me laugh or lose my train of thought, please.
yeah, yeah. Like you just do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing in here.
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh. So what is that around? So you guys, I remember you saying that you built that canopy around your boat,
We
right?
did. We did. We
So,
had like the same bimini top with like the side drops and stuff that you usually
mhm.
see, but those ones, the zippers bust. You know, they're just not as solid, and we got tired of having to take it on and off because, like right now during the spring, we fish a different lake than what we live on. So to
Yeah.
travel down there, we'd have to take it down, put it back up when we got there. This stays on the highway. We can drive like 65 miles per hour with it. It's fantastic and saves us a little bit of time. So yeah, this
Can
was
you still get a
constructed from,
tan?
yeah, you can. Yeah, the top of my husband's head says yes. Um, yeah, yeah, still definitely tan it. We'll take it off here soon once we get like totally get past today's low is
Yeah.
at 20 degrees. So once we're officially out of that, we'll be taking it off here soon.
Yeah. So is it kind of hard to take on and off or?
It is. Once it's off, like it's off for the summer. There's no putting
Yeah.
it back on if rain's coming or anything like that.
Like,
It took. I think we got it done with 3 of us when we put it on last
like
time.
this,
So it's not too
put your
bad. But
rain
once,
gear on.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's it. At that point, it's just hey, we're back to getting wet, and that's just all there is to it. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
We still have a few more people hopping on. So looks like we got Smithville, neighbors in
Ooh,
Missouri, Hutchinson, Kansas. So we got a lot of
I
different
got
people.
so Smithville was my home lake, like back from where I was from. That was the closest lake that I grew up fishing there, and then
Uh-huh.
Hutchinson is where like all my family's from.
Ugh, that's
Those like the
crazy. It's
comments
small
here.
world. Or maybe you even know them. Maybe it's your friends.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your
So I'm
name?
looking at everybody. I'm like, how crazy. Well, I know Liz. Hi, Liz. I've got Liz Ann and a group of ladies coming down to fish with us at the end of the month. So that's super exciting.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be so fun. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about paddlefish. Why don't
Oh,
we?
man.
So number one, this is so new to me. When I saw the pictures of you holding this fish, I was amazed. I was like, whoa, what is that? So can you just explain like what a paddlefish is maybe a little bit to people that
Yeah.
aren't used to it or anything?
So for the most part, I would say it's probably one of the biggest freshwater fish that we have. I mean, I know catfish get really large and stuff like
Mhm.
that, but it's probably, I mean, it's definitely in the top of the biggest freshwater fish that we have. Um, Skin wise, they're kind of like a catfish, like with their skin and
Mhm.
stuff, but they have these really long bills on them. And the whole fish is 100% cartilage. They have no bones. Even like their bills are hard, but it's all cartilage. They're such a cool fish, and they get really big. Um,
Yeah.
so it's fun. A lot of people that come out and fish with us, it's the biggest fish they've ever caught, unless they, like I said, got into some massive catfish or done some deep sea fishing and stuff.
Right.
So they're native in a lot of areas throughout
Mhm.
here, a lot of the northern states, and then down through the Midwest and stuff, down even into Louisiana. But a lot of the seasons are very different. So Oklahoma is really known for it, just because
Mhm.
we get a fish for it a lot more, and our regulations are a little looser than a lot of
Oh,
states.
okay.
So
That makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah.
Um, so are they more of a lake fish then, like freshwater, or is it rivers or
It's
I guess?
both. So wintertime, we start fishing for them like around November, and that time of the year they're in the lake. I compare them to like cattle in a field type ordeal.
Okay.
And then springtime's when they spawn and they move upriver. I mean, they go as far as they can upriver because they lay, it's called tumble eggs. So they can't touch the bottom of the river for, I think it's 2 days. The silt kind of like suffocates them and kills them. So this
Oh,
time of year, we're up in the river systems fishing for them. So a little bit of both.
yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I
Yeah.
just heard everyone come home, just pounding upstairs. So I do apologize if people are listening to the stampede above my head right now, but um, yeah. So what is, I guess, what is the bill for? I mean, is it
Yeah,
for like the purpose for them or
it
do
is.
you even know?
Well, and a lot of people think that they use it to stir mud up to find food, which is totally false. They feed on plankton. It's similar to like a whale. They have baleen in their mouth. So
Hmm.
they pretty much just swim around with their mouths open and filter feed with, the plankton. But
Yeah.
the bill on them have electroreceptors on them, and it helps them detect whether the plankton is above them or below them. And so
Wow.
that way they know, okay, go down a little further, open mouth and start swimming, or move up. And So it's super cool. We get a lot of them this time of year. We catch a lot with broken bills just because the area that we're fishing, there's a lot of dams. And so they
Okay.
come over dams and fall and, nose first, of course, and bust
Yeah.
bills and stuff. So it's really interesting, the whole background with their bills and everything. But yeah, it's electroreceptors. It's like a lot of whales
Mhm.
or even dolphins and stuff, that can let off electrofields and everything to find their food.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounded like, I mean, I've heard that with, dolphins and different
Yeah,
saltwater fish or whatever. So
yeah, same type of ordeal. So it's
uh,
pretty neat. There's not a lot of other, I don't know of any other fish, like freshwater fish, that really feed like that.
um
So
so how I said I barricaded my door. Well, my dog definitely, I did not barricade it well enough, and she just came down. So I'm gonna just go kick her back out. Um,
no, you're good. I'll talk a little bit more. Um, so paddlefish range in sizes. A world record. Actually, the world record's been beat a few times here recently. I think it's like 152 pounds right now. Is the new world record, and it was set here in Oklahoma, not our lake, but set in Oklahoma. On Grand Lake, anything from like 40 pounds up is considered trophy size, so that's a really good fish. Your average spawners, like when we're in the river right now, range anywhere from 25 to 35 pounds, and we've either got a really good weight class going right now because our average has been more in the 40s and 50s. We're catching a lot of good fish. I think Rusty said his biggest today was
mhm.
58. So I mean, when
Yeah.
40 is your target, your trophy range, 58-pound fish is a stud. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
yeah,
I, some of those pictures that you posted, and guys, if you haven't followed her, definitely check her out on Instagram because she's got these. I mean, I don't know how you like maneuver your arms around it. Like,
I tell everybody that's the hardest part after you reel one in and you're like
yeah,
kind of worn out and stuff, and then you got to hold one up for a picture. You're like, oh my gosh, it's taxing, but it's so awesome, and that's the best part of it. It's to get to take that memory home, the pictures. So
right.
it's
But
awesome.
it's probably one of those things where you're not taking like 10 pictures, because
It depends. It depends who's taking the pictures. So
yeah.
my husband is like fishing guide slash professional photographer,
Oh
self-taught
yeah. Yep.
photographer. And there's times I tell him, I'm like, I'm gonna drop it, get your picture.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I
but yeah,
think
pictures are. That's the best part about it. If you're not taking one home, take your memory home in a
yeah.
picture and everything. So, but they're
Oh,
huge. That one that I posted was 72
mhm.
pounds, and the girth on it was, I don't even know. I mean, I couldn't wrap my arms around it. It was massive. It was just,
Yeah. And then
yeah,
72 pounds is a lot.
yeah,
That's
72
a lot of
pounds.
weight.
Yeah, it was so big, and it was probably, I don't know, 3.5, 4 foot long. I mean, with the bill and everything. So, I mean, it's a big fish. Even our smaller ones are still, I mean, 3 foot long with the bill and everything. So
Yeah.
kids have a blast because most times they're holding a fish that's taller than they are.
Mhm.
It's so fun, so fun.
How long does it take for you guys to reel them in?
Um, it's not too bad. Usually 10 minutes tops.
Oh, yeah.
This time of year, they fight pretty good when the water's colder. They're a little bit more lethargic. So right now, you get a little bit of a better fight with them. But it's really not too bad. If we start getting one that's pretty tough, we'll throw the boat in reverse or
Hmm.
neutral or something and kind of chase it down a little bit to make it a little easier.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what kind of tackle and stuff then do you guys use? I mean, they're huge fish. So you probably got some in the
So
boat. You got to show us what
I
you
do.
guys use.
I got some stuff out. So before they spawn and we're fishing the lake, we're trolling for them. Obviously, they eat plankton, so you can't. It's too small to put on a hook. So you
Hmm.
snag for them. So this is a 12-ounce hook. I mean, there's my hand, guys. It's huge.
Oh,
Big old
yeah.
hook. Um, there's no barbs. We're not allowed to use barbs in it, so they're 100% barbless. Which that becomes the tricky part. You might get a hook in it, and then it's getting that hook to stay.
Yeah.
So summertime or pre-spawn, we're using 12-ounce hooks and dipsy divers. This one's a Dreamweavers who we started working with actually. Um, I thought maybe some of you ladies like up in the main lakes area and stuff might know what these are because they use them a lot, like trolling fish up there.
Uh-huh.
They weren't designed for
Maybe like
swim bait.
on, I'm not super
They're
familiar, but
using them
maybe
up on
some of,
like the Great Lakes and everything, like up
yes,
north. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Yep, because the
yes.
idea for those is they're pulling like a crankbait or something back behind it. We
Mm-hmm.
don't use that at all. Ours is just tied up here. Our hook hangs above it some, and I
Mm-hmm.
won't get into too many technicalities on how to rig it
Yeah.
up and stuff, but mainly the hook's the big thing. So I mean that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And then right now, it's kind of a mixture. We still troll for them some in the river, but once they get real, kind of real packed in there good, we start casting for them. So then we downsize. You know, it's still a big hook. It's a 6-ounce hook, but at that point we're using spinning reels, and we cast out for them with like a 6-ounce weight or something on it, and you
Mm-hmm.
just jerk and jerk and jerk. Let your
And
weight
hope
hit the
you kind of
bottom.
snag
Yep.
them.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
and try to snag them. So, and it's fun. There's nothing more exciting than when you're jerking your rod and all of a sudden it's like you just snagged into a brick wall, because
Yeah.
it's not very forgiving, but it's the most exciting thing ever when you snag one on your own. It's so cool. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the tackle. I mean, nothing too crazy. We do use very large reels and stuff. I didn't give any of those down.
You can
Those
just
are our
go.
Shimano
Oh,
Dakota
uh-huh.
700 line counters.
Well, it almost
Yeah.
looks like you're saltwater fishing.
I think that's the reel that I use, like when I caught my shark and stuff, was probably just a step up from that. So I mean, we use
Mm-hmm.
pretty big stuff, but they get a lot of wear and tear on it, so we take a
Well, I
lot of
mean,
time
it's such a
out.
huge fish. You'd have to. You
Yeah,
have to. I
yeah.
was trying to think. I had some other questions for you here.
I've
Oh,
got my stuff out.
you mentioned like the different seasons and stuff. So then, is there different? Can you only can you do you eat them? Can you take
Oh
them? Do you
yes,
have to release them
yes.
back or?
So we don't have an actual season on them here. You can fish for them year round. From a guide's point, like for us, we don't. We start about November, like October, November, and then we run till after the spawn, because then we switch it up and fish for other stuff. But so ours is like November till May. And
Mm-hmm.
the limit is one a day per, you can keep one a day per person. So like once I tag one for the day, I can't even touch another rod. There's no culling them or anything like that. And then 2 for the year, because we have to tag them, like for anybody that hunts, like you tag them just like you do a deer. We have to call
Oh,
it in and e-check it. So you get 2 for the year. Once you're tagged out, you can still go out on another day and catch and release for the rest of the year. You just can't keep any
okay.
once you kept
You
your
just
2.
can't. You can only keep
Yep.
2.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that
when
makes
like on a
sense.
day that you're fishing for them, you can, if you want to catch 3 and throw one back, you catch a small one, you're like, man, I want to go for a different one. I
Mm-hmm.
prefer to keep like a 30-40 pound male, because the male fillets seem to be thicker than the females.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like if I was fishing for one to keep, I might throw back a 50-pound female in hopes of like a
Yeah.
30-40 pound male, just because,
Yeah.
like I said, for whatever reason, their fillets always seem a little thicker. So that's, you know, so you can throw them back. It's just once you decide to throw that tag on a fish, that's it.
That's it. There we go. You're done.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
like you said, it's kind of with hunting too. I mean, it's not like you can
Yeah.
just take it off and then put it on a. It's done.
Oh,
It's
I don't
done.
want to claim that deer. There's a bigger one
Yeah.
walking in it. Yeah.
Just put it back out. No, you can't do that.
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
then,
and
is it? The fish then is it? Do you get a lot of fillets out of it? I would assume so. Or is it?
it
They're
looks like there's
pricing
a
it
lot
on
of waste
thicker.
on it, just because the heads are so big. So on an average size fish that we probably keep, you're probably getting at least a foot to a 1.5 foot long fillet that's probably 1.5 to 2 inches thick. I mean, they're good size fillets. We don't try to pick everything else off of it. I'm sure, like if you were doing it at home, there might be a little bit more you could manage to get off of it. But for the most part, it's kind of like a catfish, cleaning wise and stuff. You're going to take the fillets, and really that's about it. And it is excellent eating. It's not like crappie or anything like that. That's all flaky and just kind of falls apart. It's real steaky. For those of you that have had any type of like saltwater fish, shark or swordfish, anything like that, it's got that real steaky consistency. So and I've cooked it several different ways. I've fried it and it's delicious. I have smoked it and it's delicious. A new thing people are doing it, they're calling it poor man lobster, because the consistency of the meat's kind of the same. And they're cubing it up and boiling it like in a crab boil seasoning, which I've yet to try. So I'll update everybody. Maybe I'll make a video.
You'll have to do a how-to next time on how to do the broil.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Let us know how it turns out first.
Try it. That's really the only way that I know of that I haven't tried yet, that most people eat it. So I'm excited to try it. So, but yeah, it's great eating. A lot of people, every now and then we'll get somebody that's like, no, I tried it once. It was horrible. It's like a lot of other fish, striper, things like that. It's got a red meat in it right under the skin. And if you don't cut that red out, it'll ruin the whole thing. So it just comes down to how you process it. Make sure you clean it right. And it's amazing meat and a lot. So, you take a group of 3 people out fishing, you've got a fish fry for 15 people off 3 fish.
So you guys do a guide service down
We
there.
do.
Um,
Yes.
so do you want to tell us a little about how that, well, I was gonna say tell us how you got started with it, but you kind of went on the guide trip and kind of like just got into it.
Yeah, it just kind of happened. I've always loved to fish. My dad got me into it. He's the oldest of four boys. My grandpa was an avid outdoorsman. I'm a huge hunter too. I take a
Mhm.
little, kind of a bigger break from fishing through the fall because I hunt probably 5 out of 7 days a week through almost all of deer season. But no, so I've grown up with it. It's always been a huge passion of mine. Love spending time with my dad. I got him down in Oklahoma this year, and he shot his first Oklahoma deer with me out of one of my spots.
Oh, that's
So it's just
awesome.
always been my thing. So no, I met my husband. He was my fishing guide when I came down to Oklahoma.
Hmm.
I grew up in Missouri. Missouri has a season on spoonbill. It's 6 weeks long. And I got to follow Rusty on Facebook, and he was catching spoonbill, middle of February, and I'm chomping at the bit waiting for the Missouri season to open. So he's like, well, come down and
Yeah.
fish. I'll catch you a deal if it's just you,
Uh-huh.
whatever. So
Hmm.
yeah, so that was kind of all
You're like,
she
yeah,
wrote
I'll
there.
come
Now,
down.
yeah, now I'm a owner operator with my husband for Pritchard Guide Service, and never thought I'd be living in Grove, Oklahoma. So yeah, Pritchard's Guide Service. We're based out of Grove, Oklahoma. We get people from everywhere. We live on a very large lake. I think it's 1,300 miles of shoreline. Thanks. My little eavesdropper out there. So 1,300 miles of shoreline. So it's a good sized lake. Actually, kind of a hidden gem because I didn't know about it till I came down here to spoonbill fish. That was pretty close to me. So and we do spoonbill's kind of what Rusty's been known for. He's had this up and going for, I think we're going on 25 years now. He ran his first trip like his sophomore year in high school.
Hmm.
So it's been amazing to get to be a part of it because it's fishing's always been such a passion of mine, and now it's not my full-time job. I work a regular 8 to 5 during the week, but any chance I get, weekends, if I can get off work early enough to go hop in the boat to help on a
Yeah.
trip, I'm right there with them helping out. So like I said, spoonbill is definitely what we're known for the most part. And then summertime we do crappie, white bass, we little bit of catfish, but it's not our favorite to do, just compared to everything else. And then a little bit of bow fishing. We used to do a lot of it, but we've kind of backed off some just because the crappie's really taken off. And we use the Garmin live scope with the crappies, so everybody's super into that right now and learning the live scope, and we call it video game fishing.
Uh-huh.
So
I know. Well, we're actually looking at getting a Garmin too. So
do it. It's
like
I've learned not even just for it'll be your best friend, but it'll make you mad so fast. There's so many times that we'll pull up to a brush pile and it'll be full of crappie, and you get like one to bite and that's it. But you can see all of them swimming around down there. You'll see them swim up and look at your bait, and then nothing. So it's like it's a blessing and a curse all at the same time.
So you guys also, that's another thing you like to do. So you paddle fish, but then you do other fishing too. So
Yeah,
do you want to talk a little bit about your crappie fishing and maybe just some like little techniques that you find? Yeah.
So we don't, like, from the guide aspect, we don't really start crappie fishing until after the spawn. Everybody goes and fishes for crappie during the spawn. You can find them up on the banks, makes it a lot easier, especially for those people who don't have a boat. So we wait till after that. We like to get them once they're in their real good summer pattern. So we've got tons of brush piles marked out in the lake where we go and fish them. We'll go, drop the trolling motor. We pull up on it. We'll anchor lock on our brush pile. And then just kind of depending on what the fish are like, and which this is where the live scope really comes into play. Sometimes we can drop it down, and before you've even got your bill flipped back over, you've got a fish already coming up trying to grab it. Other times we've learned that they want you to reel and not stop reeling. So it changes up a lot there, but for the most part, that's how we're fishing for them during the summer. It's all about the brush piles, and it seems like 20 to 30 foot of water is like the magic number for them, at least here on Grand. Which I do gotta say, I'm gonna holler at all my ice fishing girls on here because I'm very envious of your pictures and stuff. I'm like, man, we don't get to do that here.
You'll have to come up to Wisconsin, and we'll have to take you out ice fishing, and then we'll have to come down and paddle fish.
Yes, we need to like line up some girls fishing trips and stuff and do some swapping out on stuff. I'm totally for it.
Yeah. I think well, that's kind of too, I mean, that's why we do these interviews, so people can learn about different things, and like shark fishing and paddle fishing and whatever else we decide to feature, and then just gives people an opportunity to meet you, meet learn different things and get connections, that they might have not been able to get before. So I just think it's great. And I
This
think
has
it's
been
awesome that
like one of my favorite women's pages that I've been on for fishing, just because everybody's been great about stuff. There's no drama on this page. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just fun to connect. I mean, the thing is like we're all women, so let's just embrace it. So,
Oh yeah.
like like I always say, I mean, we can go fishing, but we can get our nails done, we can have our hair done. I mean, let's just be real.
Yes, we can.
I'm not getting nails done, but all right, we got a couple questions here. Looks like Liz wants to know, what Garmin do you use? And then anyone else who have questions, now's the time to ask them. So
Yeah, we're running the Garmin Live Scope. It's that we've got this 12-inch. The babe, what's our Garmin? Since he's right here. Okay, yeah, it's the 12-inch. We've got the Garmin up front for the Live Scope, but like everything for right now for paddle fishing, we have a 16-inch Lowrance. Oh, thank you. Sorry, he keeps talking to me now. So we run the Lowrance right now. Only thing we really use our Garmin for is when we're doing the crappie fishing. We're wanting to play around with it some because there's some stuff that other people are doing, but I'm gonna keep that a secret till we either
don't
decide
give
if we're
away
gonna
all
do
your
it or not.
secrets. We can't have a bunch of people being guides, just a few. Ashley wants to know what crappie lures work best for you.
Ooh.
Do you have like a favorite or favorite color?
I'm a chartreuse girl. I mean, I black and chartreuse. I like black bodies with the chartreuse tail. That's what I use today. That's always my go-to. Whether it's dark, dirty water or some clearer water, I feel like the chartreuse is just a standard go-to.
That's been up here too. I've heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
for ice fishing, everyone like chartreuse, and I always hear about it.
Yep. And it's called a go-go minnow, and we use the chartreuse one, but that's probably one of our top ones that we use a lot of.
So what's a go-go minnow? Is it just a certain
Yeah, it's just what this particular one's called. A lot of times actually when we're crappie fishing though, we're not even using jigs. We're using minnows, and we drop them straight down with just a little split shot weight on them. I mean, we're dropping them down like right under the boat because we'll try to anchor lock pretty strategic to the brush pile, and we're just dropping them down right on top of them. So when Rusty and I go out fishing, we'll use jigs some to play around more and stuff. But client-wise and stuff, we use a lot of minnows. A lot of minnows.
So when you guys, do you guys clean all your guys' clients' fish then too?
We do. That's our favorite thing.
That's a plus, ladies. They clean them for you.
We do. So spoonbill, we do a rough cut of them just because out there it's like we don't have fresh water. We don't have, it's hard to clean them up real good. So when we're spoonbill fishing, we call it a rough cut. We cut the fillets out. We'll tell you how to finish cleaning them up at home, so they'll still have skin on them. But we go over all the instructions. We brine them real heavy for a day or two and let them soak, and then you can pretty much do whatever with them. But crappie, we clean all of them. That's always like, I'll get off work, and if Rusty's just coming in to clean fish, he's always like, "Babe, where you at? Are you off work yet?" I know what that means. That's him saying, like, "Can you come help clean fish?" Yeah. So a lot of times I get off work though, and he's just coming in. So he's coming in, he's done in the heat. I'm hopping in the boat. My daughter and I go out a lot during the week and stuff to go back out.
Well, that's fun. That's fun that you guys get to do that together, for sure.
He wants to do when it's 100 degrees out. He's just ran a crappie trip, is go back out in the boat. So Mama just had to learn how to do everything on her own. And
I'm the same way. That's my goal this year, is because I can drive the boat just fine, but it's the backing the trailer up that I have to figure out how to do. So we all have stuff to learn.
Don't even feel bad there. I can't do it. I can load the boat. If it's really windy and while we have the top on, I'm useless because I can't back the trailer, and this thing's like a parasol when it's windy. So I'm like, "Babe, I can't do it." I'm like, "If you line the truck up perfect where I just have to back up a couple more feet, I can get it." So that's my next goal. I need to learn how to load the trailer. That way on the days that I can't load the boat, I can at least back the trailer up for him.
Yeah, so I can get the boat off and load it back on, but
the trailer
actually doing it without someone else there, it's like, I don't know if I can, but that's the goal.
We've got a community boat ramp really close to us, so he'll pull in there and just leave the boat beached for me. And then I
Oh,
get
that's
off
so
work,
nice.
I go hop in,
Yeah.
I go play, and then just call him when I'm done.
Yeah.
Meets me at the boat ramp. I load it up, and we got a good system for it.
Yes. Well, it's just getting the system down too.
It
So it's like
is. It is.
my husband and I, the same thing. We have a system. Okay, he backs it up. I do that, and it just then you're in
Yeah.
and out. But to get the system down, it takes a few times.
Oh yeah. Oh, first time he like after I moved down, or first time he asked me to load the boat, it was not a good experience. I had not drove a boat with power poles before ever in my life.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I go to back up off the shore, and I can't. The boat's moving, but I can't get it to turn right, and so I'm heading straight to a dock, and I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out because the boat won't turn. I can't hear what he's yelling at me, and he's the most patient person ever when it comes to learning stuff like this. He's phenomenal. So I'm freaking out though. I mean, I'm sure the sweat was just pouring down my face. I'm thinking I'm about to wreck his boat. I'm gonna hit something. Finally, I understand what he said, and I'd left the power poles down on the boat, so it just wasn't, I wasn't wanting to maneuver right. So I finally put the power
What's
poles
going
up.
on?
All was well with the world again. But I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I had to learn the system for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a good message for you ladies. Don't be scared to get out there and learn new stuff, because
Yeah.
I had
I mean,
almost a total epic fail before I figured it out.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
feel like I do better under pressure. So I feel like if maybe there's people around, I do better. But then again, maybe not. I feel like maybe that'd be worse if there's like 20 people
Do you
waiting
get
to get
nervous
in.
if the
There's
boat
me.
ramp's super full? Do you get nervous about loading the boat?
No, no,
Okay, see, there's times I'll get real nervous. Like if they're, and for the most part, like nine
kind
out
of.
of 10 times, I have a smooth load, no problems.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, that one time when something's going to happen is going to be when there's 10 boats, with or trucks with trailers in line waiting to load boats up.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the one that holds it up, and I get so nervous. And it usually goes
I
fine. Like I said, 9 out of 10 times, it's a smooth load. Every now and then I'll get one that gets me, but I
Yeah,
get
I
so
remember
nervous.
we were at a boat launch and it was on a very swift area. Their launch is on like kind of the main channel, and it
Yeah.
was really windy that day, and it's like a single boat ramp, so not very big, but there was another boat on there and it was windy, and I loaded that thing perfect, and you should have seen that guy's face. He was like,
Did you take a bow? Like,
because he was like, whoa. He was like kind of shocked, and I was like, yeah, that's right.
I get that. That's awesome. I like the whole women's and the outdoor stuff. I'm a huge advocate for it. Just, I feel like it's getting bigger and bigger now, or either that or because of social media, we hear more about it, we see it more.
Yeah.
I used to think I was like the only person, and now I'm like, there's a whole community of girls like me. This is awesome. But it's something about it just empowering when we can show up into what's always been known as a man's world, for this stuff, and then we just rock it and kill it. And
exactly. Like, move over, boys. We're coming in.
That's right. It's a
cute girl and cute stuff.
Yep. Watch out for the queens.
Yeah. Watch out. Exactly. Well, does anyone have any other questions for Molly tonight before we let her go and to hang out with her family, or maybe you want to talk longer so you can be away from
No, guys, we are on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Molly Beth Pritchard, and then we have Pritchard Guide Service on Facebook. We post daily. It's so that way every day if the fishing's hot, if we're struggling. I mean, we're very honest with our stuff. If it's a tough day, that's what we're going to write about. We're going to say, man, we had to really dig these fish out today. Or if it's on fire, you're going to know by all the pictures. We take pictures of every fish we catch in the boat, and it gets posted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a good way to follow us. It gets pretty entertaining at times. I always say that there should be a reality TV show down here, because all the guide drama and stuff, it's kind of like watching like Deadliest Catch and stuff, just on a smaller scale on a lake instead of the ocean. It's real stuff. So
that's hilarious.
Sometimes. So give us a follow, and if anybody ever wants to come out, maybe we can look into like a girls' trip and like a
Yeah, so if anyone's interested in a girls' trip or anything, let us know. How do you guys book up pretty quickly for people that are maybe interested? Like you said, your season ends in May.
Yeah, so like right now for Spoonbill, we're booked. We have another good friend of ours who's a guide. I've been booking for him too. He hasn't been in the business quite as long, so he doesn't stay quite as busy. So I've been like, he's our overflow boat. And we work with him if we ever have like a large group when we need 2 boats. He's our automatic go-to. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So if anybody wanted to try to come in this season, if we can't get you in, we still got a boat we can get you on. And he's, like I said, he's a phenomenal guide as well. But for the most part, weekends book out a month to 2 months in advance. Winter time's a little bit slower. We can usually do like within a couple weeks. But this time of year, this is like the time of year that anybody who knows spoonbill, they know that this spawn is when you fish for them. It's whenever, when they're in the lake, everybody doesn't know how to fish for them. This time of year is when it's on. We get all of our phone calls. We've been almost totally booked for probably the last month. So
well, that's good to know.
Busy. Yeah.
So for next year,
stuff's a little bit more open. But yeah, I always tell people if you want a weekend spot for spoonbill, as soon as you can get something lined up, you give us a call.
Yes. So people definitely watch out for that. So if you're interested, if you do have any other comments and you're watching the replay, post them, tag Molly. We'll try to answer those as best as we can. And cheers to you, girl.
Yes. This was awesome.
We were talking a lot, so you didn't get to really drink this, but it's okay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Molly.
Yes. Bye, guys.